but I need to at least know who's on board so I can. What's up, Sue and Mike?
Hi,
How are you?
I'm doing well, thank you.
Good.
Sorry, I got very confused as to whether or not we were Wednesdays or Tuesdays, so
No, we just switched it to Wednesday last week. We just had some conflicting scheduling issues.
Gotcha.
I did kind of want to see too if we had maybe a little bit better turnout. We're getting a lot of agents watching like after the fact, which is fine as long as it gets in front of them. But I want to see if maybe Wednesdays we attract a little more people. I know I had some of the agents were are working on Tuesdays, stuff like that. So we wanted to see if maybe we get a little more turnout, but no big deal. We're gonna keep them on Tuesdays. All right, so let's see here. Yes, Mr. Strong is here. All right. Let me do this real quick. Hold on one second, guys. I'm going to post that link on the family page. So I didn't do that this morning. I know some people probably need that. Can't edit it because I'm running it. Let me see here. Do, 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 do. I'd like to be able to, I don't know, Paige, maybe there's, I'd like to be able to keep the link because it's the same link for every meeting. See how it's like recurring? So I didn't know. Yeah, exactly. I didn't know if there was a way to create like I see rooms over here and stuff, but we can look at it after, but I didn't know if you know.
I did used to do that, but then it's been like a year and a half now. No, they did do that for when we had to do Zoom school.
See here. All right. Sorry about that little delay. So today I know I posted some stuff about a possible new lead source. So we are going to be working with Redfin, actually, believe it or not. One of our amazing agents, Josh, came up with a pretty cool idea that was floating around out there. He saw something come up from Redfin. We are not partnering with them or being sold to them, so no worries. I know Redfin kind of has that connotation about them as far as listing lows, but that is not what's going on. They're actually being turning into a lead referral source. So we're going to be able to provide you some really cool leads. This is going to be, I want to group it in the same as Opcity, but it's going to be a really cool pay later type of feature. So you don't have to pay for leads up front. You're going to actually register through Redfin, and they have an excess of buyers and sellers. Yes, I said sellers, right? Mm-hmm. So really cool. We all know listings are kind of what everybody's looking for right now. So partnering with them is going to help us out immensely. Josh is already going through the process right now. I registered shortly after as the brokerage overall. So the way it's going to work with the brokerage is they need agents with 5 transactions. And transactions, we're still kind of in the loop with them, but I believe that's going to be counted as rentals as well. They haven't sorted out whether it's just sales, but some agents, we can probably group you in, like Paige, for instance, we can group you in with your mom if she wants to join on with that partner source. We can just group you guys in so you get the leads with her and stuff like that. Because some agents, like if you're new agents, what I would suggest first is trying to get those Opcity leads done, even if they're rentals. Because like I said, Redfin is going to be going off of 5 transactions. So they're screening. It's a pretty tight screening process. Josh is going through the screening right now. What's going to happen is I'm gonna send out an email shortly after the meeting, and what we want everybody to do is, if you want to be partnered with this new lead source program, send us an email. Like I said, you guys have to have 5 transactions, could be rentals, could be sales, but we need to know, because our source there at Redfin is actually going to be sending out invitations, and I'm not going to send them the list of every single agent. We're going to send him the list of agents that are, interested in partnering, interested in getting leads and working those leads. It's kind of like another Opcity thing. Like, they're going to be on you guys as far as making sure those leads are being worked. You guys are closing them. I'll let Josh dig in a little bit more, because like I said, he's going through the process right now, but there's a pretty strenuous onboarding process, if you will.
Sure.
They're actually going through and checking, your past clients and stuff like that. I'll let Josh dig into that in a few minutes, but it's another lead source for you guys. And I believe it's 30%, right?
Yeah, it's a 70-30, obviously in our favor.
70-30. So if you guys are closing a lead with them, it's 70-30 up front. There's, once you close that deal, excuse me, it's not up front. I want it to sound like you have to pay it up front. Misuse of words, but it's on the back end once you close that lead. So it's basically pay at closing type of thing. It's another way for you guys to combine this with Opcity, so some of your new agents that are watching say, man, I don't have those 5 transactions yet. What do I do here? Well, let's keep plugging away on Opcity, get those rentals done. I know we've been having some issues with Opcity lately. They're a pain in my butt from the accounting purposes. We love them as leads. They're great for agents all around, whether you're on the new platform, old platform, experience platform, whatever it may be. It's good for you guys. But if you're one of those new agents with less than 3 or less than 5, let's get those Opcity leads closed, even if they're rentals. As long as they're showing on the MLS, I believe Redfin will accept that, right?
Yeah, I'll come in with this email. So part of the onboarding process with them is that you have to meet their program requirements. So you must input your customer emails for at least 80% of your deals from within the last 12 months, up to a total of 20 deals. So if you've done 30 or 40 or 50, which I don't think any of us are in that realm, but you only have to do up to 20. Those people that you're inputting their emails, it's not going to be sold, it's not third-party information, but they are going to be surveyed. And on those surveys, you need to receive responses from a minimum of 20%, 2 separate respondents, whichever is greater. Okay, so you can figure that out. You're going to need to maintain a 4-star average from your past clients. And then your transaction history is going to be pulled directly from the MLS. So if you have any deals that were not reported through the MLS, you did an outside deal, et cetera, you need to provide an explanation for that. If you represented a bank or a corporation or closed on personal deals in the past 12 months, you need to give an explanation of that so they can waive the requirement for the survey. So if you're representing a bank in terms of foreclosure, short sale, which really is neither here nor there right now. If you're unable to provide an email for any of your closings, you'll have to give an explanation to that situation so they can address it accordingly. So it's a very strict, as Greg mentioned, onboarding screening process, and rightfully so. Redfin has a big, following. Some people are loyal to the brand. As Greg mentioned, you're not Redfin. You're not representing Redfin. You're not representing yourself as being a partner of Redfin. You are simply Home Sales Palm Beach, and Redfin is providing you with the source for that lead. So you're not to misrepresent yourself as a Redfin partner. You're not co-marketing with Redfin accounts or products or anything like that. You're simply just, as Greg gives you a lead, instead of Greg giving you the lead, it's Redfin. But you're going to have to follow their guidelines. So there's a partner agreement that you'll have to go through and sign, which you can read. It tells you kind of all the do's and don'ts. Greg and I have already signed that. You only have 2 weeks to complete your onboarding, which sounds like a lot of time, but that's to input all your information that they're asking you for, sign the documents that they're asking you to sign, and get the responses back from your past clients so they can go through and screen those responses. And then from that point, you'll be officially onboarded. So that's where Greg and I are both at right now with this program. As Greg mentioned, you have to have at least 5 deals within the last 12 months to make it happen. You can have your wish list as far as territory, which I have mine. I did not get that list or that specific area because it wasn't open, whether they just don't have space in their program or whether or not they're not in this market yet. So there is another one that's within reach that I do business in. So I did decide to say, okay, I'll take that. One of the things you cannot do as a partner, Redfin partner, is that, you know, my brother's in real estate, my friends are in real estate, whatever. I'm too busy. I can't work the lead. I'm not allowed to pass that on to somebody else because they're not a Redfin partnered agent. So it's specifically for you. Now, how the ins and outs work when you're in it, I'm not sure because we're not quite there yet. But I know that, like, for instance, like if I was approved and, you know, Dee Dee wasn't, and I got too busy, I can't say, hey, Dee Dee, go work this lead and we'll split it. It doesn't work that way. And I'm sure that they're going to catch on because, you know, they're screening and maintaining a specific criteria as to what you're doing.
Yeah, they're tough like that because, I mean, we deal with that with Op City, and there's instances where you know, they're asking for settlement statements, they're asking, like Josh said, we haven't received leads yet from them, so we're still in the process. Josh is you know, we're doing it as the brokerage, obviously, so the next step is for us to get a list of the agents that are qualified and want to do it, and then, you know, then from there we'll be able to actually pump out some leads. So we don't have firsthand experience with this as of yet.
Yeah, not on an operational standpoint, but as far as the back end stuff and what requirements are needed. I don't know if anybody's seen it come up on their social media. If you haven't yet, you will now. That's for sure.
Yeah.
But just how I found it, you know, I do know some people that work at Redfin. It's not it's not a brokerage for me if I was looking for something, but again, they're just being a lead source for me. So I don't really give a shit what they're doing in that sense. But for me, it was another opportunity to get another avenue for leads and qualified. So
yeah, these are going to be solid leads too. Like I personally haven't received a list of what they're going to look like as far as the leads. But I know, you know, talking with Josh and doing the research and speaking with their reps, they're qualified buyers, they're qualified sellers ready to go. So it's basically going to be very similar, you know, like Op City is a brokerage. We're not partnering with them. We're just getting leads from them. It's the same with Redfin. Like Josh said, to reiterate, you know, you're not going to be working for Redfin. You're not co-marketing with Redfin, any of that. You're just simply receiving leads. So, you know, when you receive a lead in, it's your lead with Home Sales Palm Beach, with Home Sales Treasure Coast, whoever you're with, that's your client. So we're going to be going through the process. I need a list of agents that are interested and want to pull leads. It's another lead source for you guys. You know, like we were saying earlier, it's 70-30, 70 to the agent right off the top from Redfin once you close the deal. But, you know, think of it as just a lead that you wouldn't have had before, a deal transaction that you would not have had before. So, you know, like they say, 50% of something's better than 100% of nothing, in my opinion. So, especially if you're working with a decent buyer, decent seller. Let's see.
I have a question. What's the period of time that you have to have those 5 transactions? Is it 12 months? Is it
12 months,
like
the preceding 12 months?
12 months. So if I were to say get my 4th and 5th one this week, do I have to wait a period of time before I'm actually eligible? Because I'm very close to that 5.
You have to have 5 transactions closed in the last 12 months.
Perfect.
So as far as if you need to wait, I mean, here's how this process starts. You say, hey, Redfin, I'm interested. Redfin will then contact you back and say, okay, well, this territory is either open or not. Are you interested in another market share? And if you say yes, then you'll go to the onboarding. But from the onboarding, you have to, you know, there's training, there's questionnaires, there's agreements, there's all sorts of shit that you're gonna have to do and sign.
Okay.
In order to get to the next step. So to get to the step to where I'm at right now, which is actually onboarding all my stuff, you have to go through quite a bit. But they're gonna do their research. It took them, I think, 48 hours to get back to me or something like that, you know, 24, 48 hours, something like 1 or 2 days. before they actually contacted me and said, hey, we would be interested in partnering with you. Now you need to do A through Z in order to actually get there.
So you guys as the agents are going to be registered through us. I mean, you're going to be registered yourself, like Josh said, but you guys don't need to reach out to anybody. They're going to send you a link.
Correct.
So we're going to need you guys, anybody that's interested or watching right now, listening, if you're interested, let me know ASAP. And he's going to send out, the rep's going to send, I think his name was Jason.
Yeah,
Jason?
I'm with Chris.
Chris. Okay. So I think we're with Jason. Jason will reach out with a link for you guys. You don't need to actually reach out to anybody right now, because you're going to be basically signed up under the brokerage. So that would be the process. But like Josh said, so like Sue, to answer your question, if we were closing a deal tomorrow and that was your 5th deal, you could probably squeeze it in. Obviously, if you're on 3 or 4 right now, and you guys don't have anything in the future or something like that, it may be too tough of a stretch.
Okay.
But it doesn't matter. I believe, I did speak with him and ask him a question that, can we onboard agents at any time? So yes, we can. It's not like, this is the only time you guys can get in. So once you get 5 deals, you just let me know, we know. But if you're interested, reach out and we'll get you guys set up on it as well. So there's no expiration link or anything like that. Obviously they want as many people in the area and with our brokerage to be on it as well. It makes sense for them. So they're not going to expire a link. So I don't have too much as far as Josh was further in the process, which is why we wanted him to chime in and kind of give more details, which he did, very well for everybody. So we appreciate that. So if you guys are interested, let me know. I have some more questions for him that I'll be going back and forth with, as far as, transaction questions, stuff of that nature. But this is going to be a really cool program for you guys to get on and just get another lead source, just another, especially in today's market, getting buyers and sellers. I'm sure a lot of you have buyers you can't find, but definitely trying to get some more listings would be hot.
One other thing they're going to do when you get to the onboarding process, they're going to obviously want you to look the best on their site. So you have to obviously have a nice portrait from your chest up, standing photo, no props, no leaning, with your head and shoulders fully in the frame.
Shot.
Yeah. So, and then they'll place you on a white background and make sure you look your best. You're also going to need an agent statement. They're going to want a brief paragraph that describes your business, your experience, why customers would want to work with you. We cannot include any direct contact information or external links. If you speak other languages, that's a great place to put that. So all that type of stuff. So, I mean, as you're thinking about this, or as you're approaching your 5th deal, if you think this is going to be something you want to do, you have a head start. You kind of know what they're going to expect. So you can get all your ducks in a row. That way, when you do start the onboarding, it's a lot easier. And as far as the links that are going out to your clients, past clients, you are able to tell them, hey, listen, Redfin's going to be sending you a survey response. I really need you to answer that. You're not allowed to tell them what to say, but you can coach them and say, hey, I need you to answer this link for me because I'm partnering with them and they require this. So if you could do it, they should be sending it in the next 24 hours. That would help me out tremendously. So you are allowed to give them the heads up that it's coming.
That's good to know. Yeah.
So, and they encourage it because obviously if you don't get the responses, you're not going to get to the next step.
Yeah. Yeah. And some people too, like, even if they're a good client of yours, I know Sandy, John, you guys work with a lot of close people in your neighborhood. Some people just get things, and especially if it's from Redfin, they may not even think anything of it. It's another real estate marketing thing.
My insurance guy's been trying to get me to give him a review for like 6 months. And every time I click on it, I'm like, I'm going to do it. And then I forget.
Yeah.
So if he was calling me and saying, Josh, can I tie you down for 2 minutes to do it? It would probably be a greater chance of me actually getting it done.
100%.
So
so that's a good point. So if you guys are interested in doing it and you're going to do it, definitely reach out to those clients that you're going to submit as your referrals and just let them know. And the more referrals you have, the better. So like Josh said, you can only do up to 20, but if you guys are doing 20, input them all, because your chances of getting those two, well, you need 20%, right?
you need 20%.
20%. So the chance of getting those 20%, I guess it changes with how many you input, but if you got 3 or 5 strong clients, put them all in and just, whoever you're close with, tell them, like Josh said, you're going to get something from Redfin, it would help me out greatly if you could just, fill out whatever they need, or or respond to whatever they need. So, yeah, so again, if you're interested in that, let us know. I know for some agents, it kind of stinks that 5 transactions, but let's focus on getting on OpCity, getting a few deals on. Like we said, they can be rentals. So even if you suck it up and we do, 5 rental transactions with OpCity, and it is what it is, let's get those numbers up. I have a good feeling these are going to be a lot better lead quality. And there's, you're kind of going right. If you think of it compared to OpCity, you're kind of going right into the experienced agent platform with Redfin. So just think of it as, getting that done and moving right into the experienced agent platform. And then from there, you got OpCity, you got our leads, and you have Redfin. So it's just, you got the trifecta. So that's what I got for that. If you guys need anything, just reach out to me if you're interested. I want to get a list over to him ASAP. So if you're interested and you want to do it, just shoot me a call, text, email.
And you guys can email or call me or text me with reasonable, realistic questions. Obviously I don't know everything. I'm learning as we go, but I'm somewhat of the, the guinea pig here. So I'm happy to answer the questions if I know them. If I don't know them, don't expect me to answer, and don't expect me to give you an answer the second that I do know, because there's so much other shit going on. So, but as I get this stuff, I'll relay to Greg. Greg will relay to us as an office. And if you individually have a question, I'm happy to answer it if I know the answer. But Redfin's a major corporation, so I can't bully somebody into giving me an answer that I have no idea where to get it from.
Yeah, and like this is so new to us. This just kind of came up the end of last week. Josh, like we said, is already on the onboarding process, and us as the brokerage, the next step for us is to get agents signed on, a list of agents. So like I said, I'm only going to put agents on that are interested. We're not going to give them a list of 50 agents and then 2 of them respond. So, we need some responses from you guys, and then we'll get you up on the platform. And then we can go through the next steps and the next processes. And like Josh said, to reiterate, we'll answer any questions we can, but we're literally fresh in this. So our next step is to get agents on board, whether it's 1 or 50. So reach out with us.
And to Greg's point on that, the agents that want to do it, like if you don't want to do it, don't feel obligated to do it, because there's a lot of work involved in getting to the next step. But if you feel, hey, I don't have time, or it's not a good option for me right now, or I'm too busy because I work another job, or I'm just too busy with what I got going on, don't do it. I'm very busy, not to toot my own horn, everybody knows that, but I'm looking at it as another opportunity for me to continue to grow, and something that I'm willing to take on. And I understand the amount of work that's going to bring for me. So, just be mindful of that. If you don't want to do it, don't do it.
Yep. Yeah, exactly. Yep. Good point.
Plain and simple, right?
So Dee Dee has something.
Hi, everyone.
Number one, let me
Okay, go ahead.
interrupt you real quick. Sorry. Disbursements. I don't know why I have to keep saying this, or Dee Dee has to keep saying this, because
nobody here.
yeah, it's
Today.
It's
They're all busy.
regardless, it's things happen, mistakes happen. You guys get busy in a transaction, hence even more reason to use a transaction coordinator.
Yes.
We've been using them, and they are the best thing on God's green earth. But in regards, like, you guys should really, it's great in a way that you're obviously not focused on your paycheck, you're focused on the client. That's great. But at the end of the day, it's one of the checklist items. We got 3 or 4 checks in yesterday randomly from title companies with the full commissions amount. And, it's a little bit of a headache for me, but at the end of the day, like, we're trying to make everything easier for you guys as the agents. And by providing the 1-page disbursement with like 4 different inputs, takes 3 minutes. You send me a signature, I review it. And then you guys send it to the title company. It's not up to Dee Dee or myself. We have enough on the plate right now. We're reviewing everything. It's up to you guys to send to the title company. You put the closing agent name, which is, say, for instance, Sean Bachelor -producer's title, the closing agent email, Sean@producerstitle.com. Right under that is the property address. Don't put in the title company address, it's property address. And then from there, it's dispersed out. You know how to do the disbursement. If not, there's videos on that. But just please remember to do disbursements. I get it, things happen. It is what it is. You get busy, but it's just a headache, because then we have to wait for checks to clear to provide you with your paycheck. We don't want to do that. We want you guys getting it at closing before we even see ours. All right. And if you want, you can give them wiring instructions. So if you don't want to wait, overnight for a check or a couple days, give them your wire instructions. Ours are on app files under in-house forms. We don't care at all. It's 6 1/2 dozen the other for us, but just make sure you get those disbursements in. We've been seeing an uptick in drop balls on that, and it's just kind of unacceptable. It's just, things happen, but that's the simple stuff in your business that you guys need to take care of. And if you have an issue taking care of it, whether you're doing one deal and you're just busy in life, or whether you're doing 50 deals and you're just overwhelmed, get a transaction coordinator then, because they're going to jump on, they're going to do all this stuff for you. And that's, if you're too busy to do it yourself, then it's worth the money to pay for that.
Not to get sidetracked away from this meeting, because it's not about the transaction coordinator, but I use them often. I have been, they've done like 6 or 7 deals for me now. I couldn't be more pleased with them. I'm actually emailing with my transaction coordinator right now. One of the things that they don't express that they do is they actually go and get feedback from your clients and post them to wherever review place you want them, whether that be on your Facebook, on your Zillow account, on your realtor account, your whatever account, LinkedIn, whatever. They'll actually go and send out a link for them to do it. So that's one thing that they're not really advertising that they do. Another thing they're not advertising that they do, I was explaining this to Dee. They'll actually send you your seller, kind of like a concierge service sheet to fill out right before closing, that they could provide to the buyer, that has utilities, that has this, that has that, garbage day, all this stupid shit that nobody knows and everybody gets asked, but it's extremely helpful. The other thing they'll do is they just emailed my buyer that closed last week with a reminder link to not forget to file for homestead, which is extremely important.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Okay. And when it doesn't happen, you as the agent are going to be blamed.
Yep.
I didn't know that. I was never told. So it's just another layer of protection for you. And it just ups your level of service and your professionalism, makes you look great. It's $350. I think everybody can afford it. Do it. They handle the disbursements. I never have to do another one, screw up another one. I just review it, make sure it's not, in Greg's favor and it's more in my favor. And then we're good to go. So,
that's a great point though about the reviews. Like when I was onboarding with them, like you go on their site and you onboard, you put all your agent information in, your app files login, your MLS login. I was traveling the other day and I got an email from my TC, and she was like, "Hey Greg, I'm seeing that the property is still active on the MLS. It was a listing that we went under contract with." And mind blanked, honestly. I wasn't trying to keep it on, to get more showings or anything. I just completely mind blanked, and I was on the road and I said, "Hey, I don't have access to the MLS right now. Is there any way you could just mark it, active under contract?" And she did within, the flick of a switch. So I don't want to use the word like personal assistant, but it's almost like having,
it really is.
It's like having a personal assistant for that transaction. And speaking of back to the review link, that's awesome. I didn't even know they were doing that until you onboard with them. They ask all your review links. So like, you can put in your Zillow, you can put in your realtor.com. Rate My Agent is a really cool site that will actually, if you create a profile with them, it'll sync to Zillow, Facebook, all that stuff. So it's a review platform that you can get and set up everywhere. So it's kind of like a one-stop shop. If you guys have a Google, My Business account, just put in any of those review links. Like Josh said, they're going to go out and get reviews, because that's something like a lot of agents don't do too, is the transaction's done, you get your paycheck, you kind of forget to hey, can you shoot me a review? With them doing it, they've been in contact with the client, so that contact is fresh. They're going to go out and they're going to maintain that contact and get those review links for you. And then also, like Josh said, keep if it's your seller, get them that transaction form or sent over, to your buyer if you have the buyer. And with the disbursements, they can actually, we're letting them put in so it can come right out of your commission, essentially. So you don't have to send them another paycheck as far as, the transaction coordinators. You don't have to do anything like that. It can come right out of commission. You don't have to deal with anything like that. So it's just one less thing you guys have to deal with. Then you also don't have to remember to do the disbursements. So it makes it nice and easy. They're lifesavers. Whether you have one deal or whether you got 30 going on, they're lifesavers. So, Dee Dee?
I agree. I mean, if you miss one thing on a contract with a customer, you're
Mm-hmm.
in the what,
Mhm.
because you can do a million things right, but you forget or
Mhm.
overlook one thing and forget it. So that way it's so worth the $350.
Yeah.
But all I want to say hi to everybody, but I just wanted to let them know that I do have some really good wording here for an escalation clause, if you want to hold it up just a little. I
Okay.
just have this wording. If anybody needs it, I can send it to you. It's like,
We'll put this on the home sales family page because you can't really see it, but we'll send this out.
it's like fill in the blanks so that whatever, it's just the nice wording and you fill out the blanks. And it explains a lot about it. It really makes a lot of sense. So if you need that, we'll put it on the family page, but it's just good wording. And also just a quick reminder, we will shoot out an email, but just to let everybody know, we really, really hope you show up Friday at Carmine's Coal Fire for our networking. There's going to be what?
Yeah,
pizza?
yeah, it's being held by Sean and Olivia at Producer's Title. Lisa's helping out as well with Home Team Lending, our amazing in-house lender.
Mhm.
Who else? I think John from Brooks Moving and Hauling is helping out as
Right.
well. So everybody's going to be there. Obviously us.
And Amber.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's right. So Amber from White Picket Fence Transaction Coordinators is going to be there.
Right.
She's in town.
Yeah.
So it's a good chance for you guys to meet her if you haven't used her yet, to meet her in person. Yeah, and see her bubbly personality and how awesome, they are with their team. And if you're on the fence about using them, no pun intended, then maybe you won't be after this, and you'll be able to see the benefits as opposed to just listening to us blurb about them every day, right? But it's this coming Friday from 5 to 8 at Coal Fire in Jupiter. So we hope to see everybody there. There's gonna be a lot of affiliates there, but we're gonna go there and have some fun. It's not gonna be just business. If you guys want to talk business, you can. I know Sean and Olivia and Lisa set up some sort of raffle. I'm in the dark. I think it's a surprise.
Cool.
And I was told that Amber's gonna I'm putting her on the spot now, even though she's not here, but I was told that she could do some magic tricks. So we'll see what happens with that. But yeah, it's gonna be a great event. It's gonna be a blast. We hope to see everybody there. We just want to hang out, have some fun. It's been a few months since we did the last one, trying to ease back into it. But we hope to see everybody there Friday from 5 to 8. Don't forget your disbursements. What do you have? Anything else? That's it?
For me.
Okay. Does anybody have any? Lisa, do you have anything in the wonderful world of lending?
Greg, good morning.
Nothing too exciting except for the non-QM loans are coming back in a couple of weeks since COVID ended, or not ended, but since it started. And non-QM, for those who don't know, are your loans that are not your traditional conventional RFHA, like bank statement programs, no ratio, that sort of thing. I don't want to come across that I like these loan programs because I actually hate them, but they are a really good option for like a self-employed borrower that has, some funkiness going on. So yeah, just keep that in the back of your mind. If you've got, somebody who's outside the box, we can at least talk about it. And I say I hate them because they're not, they're case by case in terms of how they're underwritten. So it's like, you really need to set the expectation up front that, yeah, it's not going to be super smooth. It can be difficult and what the underwriter asks from the borrower, but it is a viable option for your hard to place borrowers. So it's definitely worth making a phone call to me just to talk it through a little bit and see if there's a deal there.
Awesome. Well, that's good news to see some light at the end of the tunnel with some of these different lending programs coming back on the table, huh?
And I figured it would take about a year because they shut them down like end of April last year.
Okay.
So yeah, we're a year later and now they're starting to come back. Investors are feeling a little bit more comfortable to lend on, more challenging loans.
Awesome. So Sandy has a question for you, I think.
Yeah. Sure.
And John.
No, it was a question for you, Greg. Where are we with the health insurance?
We're just in the process. I mean, I'll give you guys updates. I know, listen, this isn't like an overnight thing. I'm not trying to be evasive about this, but this is a process that I'm not going to roll out unless it's squared away. I've had a couple agents do some beta testing on it. So that was a big breakthrough. But basically, like the way that we're going to structure this insurance is it's not me providing insurance. It's not going to be like a corporate insurance. It's going to be going out to our health insurance agent just to provide you guys another option. Honestly, I've had some people test it. One person I think was like, hey, like there was no programs that matched what I needed. The other 3 or 4 that tested it were like, hey, great. There was products that were awesome and it was cheaper than what I got now. And some of the benefits were better. So we're really trying to, narrow that down, but it's more of an implementation on how we're getting that on the portal. We were going to roll out like a beta of the portal. However, I don't want to do that until the social media and or the insurance platform is set up. Right now, as far as the insurance, Frank, our IT guy, is working with our insurance agent to customize like the insurance group's platform that they use for quoting, I guess call quoting, whatever it is. It's a site that you go on there and you can input what you want. You want high premiums, you want low premiums, you want high deductibles, low deductibles. They're trying to customize their site to implement into our site. So it's not like we're basically at the mercy of their company right now, as far as when they're actually completing that so they can implement it into our site. I've told a couple agents that reached out, actually, I think it was Paige, right? Paige wanted to do some insurance like ASAP. You guys, I will be absolutely happy to provide you the insurance agent that I use, that she's the one we're partnering with. I'd be happy to provide you her information, so you can speak directly to her. And if you guys need to pull the trigger on something, if it works, great. If it doesn't, it is what it is. But that's kind of where we're at with the insurance aspect of things. As far as the social media aspect of things for the portal, we're working with Realty Candy, and they're the ones that are customizing it. They're the ones that do all the customization for IDX websites. They're customizing their social media platform. We're actually the first ones doing this into our own proprietary, as far as from the social media aspect, into our proprietary portal. So it's development, software development on their aspect. So they're going back and forth every single day with Frank and how to really get this thing nailed down. Like I said, I've had the opportunity to implement it into the portal and then beta it with a few agents, and then I didn't like the way it looked, or I didn't like the way it acted, so I wasn't going to roll it out. We went back to Realty Candy, made them change some things. I just don't want to roll these things out until they're working properly, because then, number one, I'm going to get inundated with questions that I don't know, like insurance, for instance. Like, I don't know premiums. I've always had health insurance, so I don't know questions or answers about premiums and deductibles and stuff like that. So like, I'm personally not going to be the one to go to for that. It's going to be Erica, the insurance agent. And as far as like the portal stuff, like we'll be able to help you guys with that, but I'm not going to roll it out until it's perfect. I don't want to say perfect, because there's going to be changes once we get this thing up and running. However, I want to add in the insurance aspect and or the social media before we start baiting it with that. And insurance wise, we're just up to them right now, unfortunately, with their quoting process. Go ahead, Dee Dee.
I was just going to say one thing before I forget. I was one of the beta
Yep.
and testers. And honestly, I will say my husband and I have Florida Blue, the Blue Cross Blue Shield. And, we were in on the Obama plan that, depending on your taxes, and we're both self-employed, of course, so we have a ton of deductions. So our tax returns depicted what our premiums would be, and they're pretty low in this world. So, with when you're an independent contractor, if you know what I'm trying to say. But I will say this: if I did not have that, and my income, it just varies so much. It could go from somebody who's 18 to somebody who's 90, and there are so many different plans. I actually had a lot of fun with it once I understood it better. And some of it, it's a la carte too. There's a lot of like, if at one point in our life, we just needed emergency, like if we went to the emergency room a lot with a little kid, we didn't need catastrophe insurance. But I will say it's a la carte. There are a whole bunch. I mean, there's hundreds of different programs, and you can, whatever you want to pay is, depicts what kind of program you get. You can change it depending on the course of your life as you get older or mid-age or have kids. It really is a good plan so that you don't have to get a one package deal. So, just something that we offer for you guys, because it really is amazing when you go use the site. And once Greg gets it, almost perfect, it'll be great. I thought it was pretty good as it was, but So yeah, I just think it's an extra tool, and you would definitely have to go through them because obviously we're not an insurance company. But it really does offer lower rates and some good packages too.
Yeah, so like for instance, John and Sandy, if you guys like are actively in like searching for insurance, just because we're in beta and we're off, like I was saying, to reiterate, is I'm personally not providing you the insurance, right? We're providing you the contact for somebody that we have a relationship with, right? So it's an affiliate essentially. But if you guys are able to, and we've worked out different programs with her, obviously, which is why we're pushing it out. But if you guys are actively searching for insurance, let me know, because just because we're in beta with the site. We're not in beta with being able to provide that program, right? So I can provide you the link, like I sent to Dee Dee, where you can actually go in there and play around and check it out. And it is actually plans. It's not fake plans we set up. It's, for beta, it's actual plans that you can play around with depending on what kind of program you're looking at, whether it's deductibles or, low or high out of cost pockets, whatever the case, or dental. You guys can actually play around with it. And if any of those plans interest you, we can get you in touch with Erica, and you guys can move forward on those plans. They're actual plans. We're just implementing it into our site to be able to provide it in-house. And that's what we're waiting on right now. So if you guys are, anybody, doesn't matter who it is, are actually interested, you let us know, we'll get you in contact with her, okay?
Sounds good. Thank you.
You bet, man. You bet. Listen, I'm trying to push this out as quickly as we can, with the same breath. Like, I don't want to push it out too quick, and then next thing we're backtracking and we're redoing everything or whatever. We're trying to just roll it out and do a big rollout in one breath. And then, we can tweak things here and there, but I'm not the type of person that's going to roll it out prematurely and it's just going to be a hassle for you guys, because first impression is everything. Like, it's like a buyer. So if we roll it out and it's not what you guys were thinking, or you guys aren't happy with it, even if we fix it, chances of you using it are going to be slim. So we're going to try to roll it out as soon as we can, but also it's going to be as best we can at first. So
I will say, if I didn't have insurance, I would definitely pick one of those plans because it's affordable to every single person. Depending on, if you really can't afford it, you can get a lower tier. So at least it covers you in case, but honestly, if I didn't have the insurance I did, and we've had it for a really long time, I definitely would buy something, purchase a plan on this, because the rates are really good. And I think that's, offered to us, as a little bit of a discount as well, so we can pass it on to you. So it really is good. At least you'll have some sort of coverage.
yeah, it's just another way for us to provide something for you guys, as opposed to, it's not like I'm providing you the insurance personally. So it's just another, product we can offer you guys to use. I'm not gonna, my feelings are gonna be hurt if you quote and you don't use her. It's not, it's nothing like that. We don't get paid to use or anything like that. So there's nothing like that. It's just literally a relationship we have to be able to provide you. And hopefully if one person takes advantage of it, great. Then we provided something great for at least one person.
And on the other note, I'll say that it is more personalized, so you don't get this 800 number that you're talking to 10 people before, and then they're going to call you back 3 days later. You actually, the person that you speak with really knows their stuff, and you can get a hold of them, which I like. It's much more personalized.
Yeah, you're dealing with just Erica herself. You're
Right.
not going to put in your quote and then end up, getting blasted by insurance agents like like your consumer signing up on a real estate website. So that's pretty much all I have. Does anybody have any questions? Good. Hi, Tamara. Hi, Kristen. It's good to see you guys.
Hi, Greg.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good.
Hey, Greg.
Sorry, I came in
Hi,
late.
Tamara. How you feeling?
Good. How are you?
Good. What's new?
Oh, not much.
In case anybody doesn't know, Tamara's pregnant.
Yay.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
I've been thinking of you, Tamara. I saw a picture of you and your baby. It was and your husband from like 2019 or something.
Oh, I
And
know. I
got all-
reposted because she just had her second birthday. So.
Yeah, and I got all excited. I was like, did she have it this early?
No. That was just Ellie when she just
Okay.
turned 2 the other day. So.
That was a cute picture.
Thank you.
That's awesome. So yeah, if you guys need anything, just reach out to Dee Dee or myself at any time, call, text, email. We're always here. Well, we're obviously going to put this up on the Home Sales Family page. So if you guys want to watch it or you jumped in, a little too late, you can go back and watch the beginning. But if you guys have anything at all, just let me know. Send me, again, if you're interested in the Redfin leads, send me a call, text, email. Let me know ASAP. I want to get back to Jason with at least some agents. Like I said, if you're right there, and you're at like number 2 or 3 transaction, we can always get you on after. I believe like Sue had a question earlier. She's on like transaction number 4 and just signed, another lease or contract. We can get you guys on there, and then, hopefully by the time he starts sending out those links, your 5th transaction will be closed. But if you're at like number 2 or 3, just keep going. If you're not using Opcity, now would be a great time to jump on and, bite the bullet. And if you have to do 5 rentals, listen, I mean, Dawn's not on here, but she jumped on with us. She jumped on Opcity, was just good at answering her phone. She bit the bullet and she closed. I think she ended up closing like 5 or 6 or 7 like smaller rentals, but she did it in probably a 2-month time frame, maybe if that. So she bit the bullet for 2 months and got her 3 transactions she needed with Opcity and kept going. Now she's getting some pretty good leads in from Opcity, and then doing her own transactions. So yeah, just if you're kind of at that point where you don't have those 5 transactions yet and you're not on Opcity, let's get you on it. Let me know, get those 5 transactions through a rental done. And that will also, you'll kill 2 birds with 1 stone. You'll get those 3 transactions you need with Opcity, and you'll be pushed up to the experience platform. And then also you get those other 2 and we'll get you on the Redfin. And now you got two lead sources that are going to be pretty solid for you. So that's one way to do it. And if you have 5 transactions that are rolling at once with your own people, awesome. But if you guys need anything at all, just give us a call, email, text, shout, hop on in. We're always here for you. So just let us know if you need anything at all. And everybody have a killer week.
Thank you.
See you Friday.
See you Friday.